We're coming up on the final week of the regular season, and the Fighting Saints have won 2 of their last 3 games. As they make a push towards postseason play today, they get a challenge in the form of the Judson University Eagles. St. Francis and Judson coming up next. Hello and welcome inside the Sullivan Center here on the campus of the University of St. Francis as we get set for today's game against Judson University. Terry Bonadonna with you and joined by the head coach of the Fighting Saints, Ryan Marks. Coach, as we look forward to today's game, I want to take a minute to look back. We'll get to the win against Governor State in just a moment, but first let's go back a week. You played Roosevelt, top team in the conference. Tough game. You ended up on the wrong side of it, but you were in it until the closing seconds. What does a game like that say about where your team is right now?
Well, I think it speaks a lot about the level at which we're playing. We talk every year, like as a group, about sort of what it takes to win in November won't win in December. What it takes to win in December won't win in January. And so I think to play Roosevelt in that caliber of a game speaks to that we're playing at a pretty high level right now.
Let's move on to Wednesday because you got the result you needed in that one. And knowing that we're coming down to the last few games of the year, you're looking to get a spot in the conference tournament. How big was it to get that victory against Governor State, and how did you feel about the way your team performed in that one?
Well, I think obviously from the standing standpoint, it was critical to continue playing good basketball. We did it in kind of a tough way in that Ramel Davis fouled out early in the second half, so we had to pick up the scoring load in some other places. So I think we feel good. We got E.J. Charles back for a few minutes that game. We're hoping to have Ben Fats back today for a few minutes. So hopefully we're peaking at the right time.
You mentioned E.J. Charles coming back on Wednesday and Ben Fats starting to come around as well. Where's the team right now as far as the health is concerned, and are you at all concerned about bringing guys in who haven't been around the last few weeks and maybe messing with some of the chemistry that you've had so far?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting question because guys have stepped up. I think we are playing in a good rhythm right now. Obviously getting 2 players who are starter caliber players back can only help us, but I do think that integrating those guys back, both giving them a little bit of a soft landing back into the rotation is important, and trying to not try to do anything that disrupts the way we've been playing. So we'll try to do that in the best way we can.
Judson's the opponent today. First time you've seen them this year, but they're a tough team. You know it's a game you got to win as you try to make your push late in the season. Javaris Wiggins, one of the top scorers in the conference. What's the plan with him? How do you get the win today? Yeah,
I'm really impressed with Judson. It's kind of interesting with the way our conference schedule is, in that we haven't seen them in person all year, so I've done more on film on those guys lately, and to see their progression. Wiggins is obviously a high-profile scorer. Not only is he a very good scorer, but he's a guy that makes big shots and big plays for them when they need it. Like he's the guy they lean on. But they're a good team. They really drive the ball from a lot of different spots. They're alert and competitive defensively, so it's going to be a heck of a test for us.
Coach Ryan Marks, thanks for your time. Good luck today.
Appreciate it as always, Terry. Thanks.
Opening tips just moments away at St. Francis and Judson, coming up next on the USF Sports Network.
The University of St. Francis in Joliet is a welcoming community of learners, ready to make you feel right at home. With a diverse student body that is a reflection of the community we serve, our students say over and over that USF truly feels like family. To get the excellent education and promising future you deserve, visit stfrancis.edu. Our home is your home. Make yourself comfortable at USF.
We are once again inside the Sullivan Center down on Pat Quigley Court as we get prepared for today's matchup between St. Francis and Judson. A big one today for these Fighting Saints as they try to push their way into the top 8 spots in the conference. Right now, just a game behind Calumet St. Joe's. Big one coming up against them at Calumet on Wednesday. But first things first, they've got to take care of business against a very tough opponent in the Judson Eagles today. And it's a weird situation this late in the year. Usually you're seeing a team for the second time. This is the only matchup this season between St. Francis and Judson. So they're 2 teams that are not quite as familiar with each other as they might otherwise be. But the Saints are playing some of their best basketball of the season lately They've won 2 of their last 3 games. Their only loss during that stretch was right here at home last week against Roosevelt, one of the top 15 teams in the country, and that one came down to the closing seconds. So the Saints know they've got it in them. They've got some key talent returning. E.J. Charles will be back in the starting lineup today for the first time in several weeks. Ben Fatz will not be in the starting lineup, but he is available off the bench. It's the first time we've seen him in almost 2 months. So really a big deal for the Fighting Saints that they're starting to get healthy at the biggest time of the year right now. Just 3 games left this season, including today, and the Fighting Saints are in position, I think right now, where they feel like they've got to win all of them if they want to keep their season going into postseason play. So there's a lot on the line today. Should be a very interesting game against a Judson team that comes in above 500 in conference play. This is going to be a difficult one today for the Fighting Saints, even though they are at their home court. We're going to turn things over right now to Alex Milcars on the public address system as he introduces us to the starting lineups.
6'3" junior guard number 1, C.J. Nwosu. 5'10" senior guard number 4, Javaris Wiggins. 6' senior guard number 10, Antelius Ryan. 6'4" junior forward number 11, Gavin Alston. 6'9" senior center number 21, Sam Stewart. The Eagles are coached by Bruce Fields. And now the starting lineup for your Fighting Saints. The 6'5" junior forward hailing from Miramar, Florida, number 0, Ramel Davis. 6'1" graduate guard out of Pickerington, Ohio, number 2, Tay Jones. 6'3" senior guard out of United Tikva, Israel, number 4, Nadav Gerner. The 6'8" sophomore forward hailing from Haran, Israel, number 15, Sheer Moradi. And the 6'7" graduate forward out of Oakland, Illinois, number 24, E.J. Charles. Your Fighting Saints are coached by Ryan Marks.
So there you have it, the starting lineups for today's game. St. Francis coming in at 7-15 overall, 6-11 in conference, and Judson 12-13 overall record, but as I said before, above the 500 mark in CCAC play. They're 9-8 in conference so far this year. Tough challenge for St. Francis. We'll see if they're up to it. As Sheer Moradi, Nadav Gerner, E.J. Charles, Tay Jones, and Ramel Davis take the floor. It'll be Moradi on the opening tip for the Fighting Saints, going up against Sam Stewart, the senior from Milwaukee, in navy blue for Judson. Eagles are going from left to right to start today's game off, and they win the opening tip. Saints in white, they'll be going from right to left when they touch the ball for the first time. C.J. Nwosu, Javaris Wiggins, and Antelius Ryan, Sam Stewart, and Gavin Alston, the starters for the Eagles. There's a block from behind. E.J. Charles turns it away. Sam Stewart looking for the first points of the game, but instead it's a takeaway for the Fighting Saints. Outside into the corner, it's Nadav Gerner, rims out on the 3. Charles is there for the rebound, and Charles loses it. Going back up, he's fouled on the play. Talk about E.J. Charles making an impact, getting his first start after returning from an injury that knocked him out for the last few weeks. Charles has a block, he's got a rebound, and now he's got a couple of free throws coming up. Charles, a 76% foul shooter, makes the first. He's averaging just a shade under 12 points per game. 4.5 rebounds per game for Charles. He was leading the team in scoring for a while. He makes the second. In his absence, Ramel Davis has really picked up the load, and he's averaging about 16 a game now. So Davis easily the team's leader. But it's an extra double-digit scorer back in the lineup now. Here's Antirius Ryan. Nwosu down to the corner. Javaris Wiggins, tough man to stop. Wiggins down the baseline. Bounces back out to Nwosu, 4 to shoot. Three-pointer coming, and it's good. First points of the game for Judson. That's Gavin Alston with the 3, and the Eagles lead for the first time. Sheer Moriarty passes out to Nadav Gerner, bounce down low, Charles. E.J. Charles fighting for his footing, and we got a foul call. Bruce Fields, the Judson coach, was clamoring for a travel, but the call is a foul on C.J. Nwosu, and Charles goes back to the line where he made 2 shots just moments ago. First foul shot is off the back of the rim, no good. So Charles will try to tie the score. So the foul was clear. The question is, did he travel first? Both on the court and on the sideline. Judson was hoping that they would get that call, but to no avail. Charles makes 1 of 2. We're tied at 3. E.J. Charles has all of St. Francis's points so far, all from the free throw line. Here's Stewart. Off to Ryan. Cross court, Judson taking some long possessions here, but a quick shot there from Nwosu. After 18 seconds of passing the ball around, Nwosu tried to take a contested jumper, no good, but Tay Jones can't keep it alive on the other end. Jones loses it out of bounds. Judson takes it away, and we remain tied at 3. Not quite 2 minutes into the action. Antirius Ryan sets up the offense for the Eagles. This is Wiggins. Wiggins spins into the paint, bounces to the outside. Along the baseline, contact and an offensive foul. Charge called against Judson. It's C.J. Nwosu's second foul already, the 3rd on the team. So Judson's in a little early foul trouble. A little bit of a push-off. I think that was on Antirius Ryan, is who it looked like. It's his second. Called Nwosu originally, but that'll be fixed. So, again, the second foul on Ryan, not the second on Nwosu. Either way, foul trouble for Judson. Charles from the top. Jabs to the right, gives it to Nadav Gerner. Outside, Tay Jones, three-pointer, got it. And St. Francis has the lead. Tay Jones, 42% from three-point range this year. And he's got the first field goal of the game for St. Francis. So they reclaim the lead. Alston drives. Alston floater comes up short. Rebound deflected towards the sideline and brought in by the Fighting Saints. It's Ramel Davis. Davis turns on the Jets, gives it up down low to Charles. Saints move it around, find an open shooter up top, and Sheer Moriarty can't finish. Knocked out of bounds, last touched by the Fighting Saints. Good possession for the Saints up until the finish, just not able to put the shot in. They got a good look. And they've also got a three-point lead. We've seen just 2 field goals so far in this game. 1 three-pointer for Judson, 1 for St. Francis. And then a handful of free throws as well. Dished underneath the basket, nobody there, but it's tracked down by Judson beyond the three-point line. Gavin Alston fires the 3 and ties it at 6. Our scoring is all coming in threes so far today. Gavin Alston has all 6 for Judson. Tied up, almost 4 minutes in. E.J. Charles, step back two-pointer, rolls around the rim, doesn't fall. And the rebound tipped into the hands of Sheer Moriarty. Another chance for the Saints. Tay Jones steps into a three-pointer and misses. Another offensive rebound. Nadav Gerner hands it off to Ramel Davis. And we'll reset here. 12 on the shot clock. Gerner fires down low. Tay Jones. Jones, turnaround jumper, good. And our first two-pointer of the game belongs to Tay Jones, who's got 5 of St. Francis's 8 so far. 4.5 minutes in. This game's starting to develop a little bit of a rhythm. Sam Stewart hands it off to Javaris Wiggins. Wiggins hasn't done much of anything yet. Third in the conference in scoring, close to 20 points a game. Looking to pick up an assist here, but Alston misses the three-pointer. It's an air ball. And here comes Davis. Ramel Davis inside the three-point line, steps into the paint. Jumper is good. First points today for Davis, averaging 16 a game for St. Francis. And the lead is up to 4. First two-possession lead of the game for either side. Ball knocked loose and taken away by the Fighting Saints. Nice job by Charles saving it after Gerner stripped it. Nadav Gerner gets the steal, taking it away from Antarius Ryan. To the cutting Gerner, layup no, comes up a little bit short. Judson ball down by 4. Just over 5 minutes in. Javaris Wiggins crosses over, gets around Jones all the way in. Too hard off the glass, offensive rebound. Second chance, corner three is good for C.J. Nwosu. And the Eagles pull to within 1. Gerner gives to Charles. Right back to Nadav Gerner, who walks to the right side, half the shot clock on. And they're looking inside for Davis, didn't have him. Davis is fouled, he was being wrapped up down around the waist, and the foul is called on Gavin Alston. Alston's first and the team's 4th. And here come the subs for St. Francis. Connor Casper checks in. E.J. Charles, Sheer Moriarty, Nadav Gerner check out. Ben Fatz is on the floor for St. Francis. First time he's been out there in a while. Began the season as the starting center, but went out with an injury back in late December. So he's been out most of conference play. Dakota Joachim is in as well for the Saints. Tay Jones over to Dakota Joachim. Joachim from the free throw line, back to Jones. Three-pointer is short. Ben Fatz grabs the offensive rebound. So he quickly makes an impact. Short on the putback. Rebound tipped around, and Judson comes away with it. A foul is called on St. Francis.
St. Francis foul Dakota Joachim. His
First foul on the Fighting Saints. Ben Fatz started the first 8 games of the year for the Saints. Scored about 8 points a game, 9 rebounds a game to lead the team. But he went out during the New Year's event here, so it was late December, the last weekend of December. Finally back out there today for the first time in 2024 as Judson turns it over. Gavin Alston fires it straight out of bounds. The scoring has quieted again here. Low scoring start to this one. St. Francis has a 1-point lead. Casper to Joachim on the wing. Gets it in the post to Davis. Ramel Davis turns around on Sam Stewart. Jumper is good. Stewart gave him just a little bit too much space, and Davis was happy to take advantage. Saints extend their lead to 3. Second field goal today for Davis. He's got 4 points. He and E.J. Charles and Tay Jones have done the scoring today. Three-pointer misses for Wiggins. Saints take it away. I think it's the first field goal attempt for Javaris Wiggins. Inside, Davis lays it in. Timeout called by Judson. 12:36 to play in the first half. St. Francis has their biggest lead so far, 14-9 the score. Nice find by Dakota Joachim, and Ramel Davis was there to lay it in. Davis got off to a slow start over the first couple of minutes. Didn't see the ball very much, but he's gotten rolling now. 3 field goals for him and 6 points. We take a look at some of the keys to the game for St. Francis today that Ryan Marks talked about beforehand. And he talked a lot about the defense, minimize uncontested shots, and communicate when guarding screens. So far, so good. Not a lot of uncontested shots. I can't speak specifically to the communication, but it seems like they've guarded their screens well, so I would assume they've communicated well. And then consistent paint touches on offense, that has certainly been the case, as they've not only been able to score a few from the paint, but they've gotten themselves to the free throw line effectively in this first half. building up this 14-9 lead. 5 points in the paint for St. Francis. Judson goes to the bench for the first time today. Javaris Wiggins passes it back up top to Tariq Olden. Now it's Alston, back to Olden. Olden drives with the left hand, picks up his dribble, 6 on the shot clock. Alston takes a little hop, and that's a traveling violation. Traveling called on Judson. They turn it over for the 4th time today. St. Francis can extend their 5-point lead. Casper over to Nick Nego, 3-pointer off the rim, and it hits high off the backboard, too high, hit the top of the backboard. So it's out of bounds off the shot from Nego. No second chance for the Fighting Saints. Just over 8 minutes in, it's a 5-point lead. St. Francis still has only 3 players score so far. But they've defended well enough early on that Judson has been playing catch-up most of the way. Here's Olden. Olden bounces it inside to the cutting Ryan, and Antirius Ryan lays it in. Ryan's playing with 2 fouls. He's been out there for most of the half, actually, with 2 fouls. Picked them up quickly. But he's able to get on the board his first points today. Ben Fatz kicked out to Nick Nego. 3-pointers and air ball from Nego. He's 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Here come the Eagles, firing inside off the hands of Kay Anderson and out of bounds. Anderson can't haul it in. Saints take over with just about 11 minutes to play in the first half. Casper looking for help. He's got Don Joachim back behind the 3-point line. Joachim gives it to Nego as they reset here. Nego gives it to Don Joachim. Joachim around to the right side, 3 to shoot, pulls up for 2. Jumper is off, and the rebound goes to Javaris Wiggins. Wiggins fires it off to the left. Making his way inside, Anderson is blocked, gets it back, misses the second chance, and he's fouled this time. So Kay Anderson will go to the line. And he'll get a chance to make this a 1-point game. There may have been some contact on the first shot. I didn't see much on the second one. Unless Don Joachim maybe pulled him from down low, maybe a little bit below where I was looking. Anderson's first free throw is good. 14-12. Anderson, 79% foul shooter, gets his second. He misses that one. Fight for the rebound is grabbed by Casper, and he gets rid of it just before the travel. Nice work by Casper. Here come the Fighting Saints. Ahead by 2. He's got Ben Fatz, the high post, guarded by Olden. Back out to Dakota Joachim. Joachim from 2-point range, hits the jumper. His first points today. 4-point lead, St. Francis. Here comes Olden working his way inside. Olden fighting for position off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound Casper. Pushed ahead, Dakota Joachim at the top. Makes his way to the free throw line, pulls back outside. Here's Don Joachim. Casper around the screen to his left. Shot clock at 8 for Don Joachim, who gets the screen from Ben Fatz. Moving to the wing. Passes off to Dakota, top of the key. 3-pointer is good. Dakota Joachim has scored the last 5 points for St. Francis, and their lead is up to 7. Biggest advantage of the day, and Javaris Wiggins pulls it right back to 5. First points for Wiggins today. Pass out of bounds. Don Joachim was looking for the cutting Connor Casper. Casper wasn't ready for it. So it goes off his legs and out of bounds. And the Saints go back to their bench here. Connor Casper, Ben Fatz check out. Shir Moriarty is back on the floor, and Kazmir Ochiaka gets his first action of the day. It's already the 11th player the Saints have used today, just 11 minutes into the game. Bench is a little bit deeper now that some of the starters are coming back from injury. Olden's three-pointer is good. Barrick Olden makes it 19-17. First 3 points of the game for him. 5 in a row for the Eagles. Kazmir Ochiaka working against Olden, backs his way in. Ochiaka fighting for positioning. His pass is deflected out of bounds. And last touch by the Fighting Saints. Dakota Jokum probably could have saved that one. He thought it was last touch by Judson, though, so he let it go. It ends up costing St. Francis. Taken away by Don Jokum, dies on the floor to keep it alive. And a timeout is called with 8:04 to play in the first half. Jokum, trying to create the turnover, is able to keep possession alive for St. Francis. The ball was knocked loose. He falls on top of it, and he was able to get the timeout before Wiggins could get his hands in on it. He called that timeout just as he got possession. Judson was trying to argue that it should have been a travel as he slid across the floor, but I don't think he had the ball the whole time he was sliding. He was still grappling for possession. When he finally got it, he was able to stop the clock at 8:04 and start this possession for St. Francis. Just a 30-second timeout. Good defense from Don Jokum, just jumping right in from behind. Yeah, I don't think he's got the ball until right there. And he calls timeout immediately. The Eagles weren't quite sure, I think, why it wasn't traveling, but that would be why. So Jokum's on the floor with Ochiaka, Dakota Jokum, Moriarty, and Nigo. Saints riding their bench early on today after their starters gave them the early lead. Don Jokum, no foul called, misses off the backboard. Here comes Trey Spires for Judson. Kicked out to Nwosu, who knocks down the three, and Judson takes their first lead since it was 3-2. "7-0 run. They called it a two-pointer, so they do not lead. It's their first tie instead, since it was 6-6. Kazmir Ochiaka lays it in off a nice find from Don Jokum. Down to the corner, kept in bounds by Anderson, but they can't keep it in the front court. Over and back called against Judson. Trying to save it after the initial pass was a little out of control. And the Eagles turn it over. Saints with a 2-point lead take the ball. 7:25 to play in the first half. Dakota Jokum picked up by Trey Spires. Lob to Shir Moriarty. Near the top, he tries to find Ochiaka down low, but the pass was intercepted. Nwosu gives to Spires. Back to Kay Anderson. Wiggins bounces to Olden. Barrick Olden working against Ochiaka, rolls it in and gets the foul call. So a chance for Olden to get the three-point play. Kazmir Ochiaka is called for his first foul. It's the third on the team. Olden working hard all the way inside, just made it happen. 22-21, Judson has the lead. So now it's their first lead since it was 3-2. Our third lead change of the game. Dakota Jokum trying to take it right back for the Saints. Rims out on the three. Olden drives to the left hand. Passed outside. It's Nwosu, pull-up jumper. And Judson's found their rhythm offensively. Their shots are falling. CJ Nwosu has 2, and Judson's got their biggest lead today, 24-21. Passed into the cutting Don Joachim in traffic, lays it in anyway. Hard fought 2 points for Don Joachim. Wiggins backs up, drives all the way down the lane, floats it short. Rebound grab by the Saints. Nigo gives it to Don Joachim. Dakota Joachim fell down. He's back out on the other side of the play as Nigo misses the 3. It was essentially 4-on-4. Wiggins was slow to get up for Judson. Joachim tripped for the Saints. So both teams were without a man on that possession. Olden gives it to Trey Spires. Spires spins back to his left, gets around Ochiaka, blocked by Dakota Joachim. Saints in transition. Don Joachim passes to Dakota, cutting down the lane, who lays it in. Saints lead. The defense stays aggressive. Knocking that out of bounds. It'll stay with Judson. The reserves did their job for St. Francis. The starters come back out onto the floor. Jones, Gerner, Davis, and Charles. 1 point lead for St. Francis. 27 on the shot clock for Judson as they restart their possession. Spires looking for help, finds Anderson. Anderson once again steps inside the three-point line. Out to Nwosu. Stewart starts to back in, kicks back out to Antarius Ryan. Three-pointer is good. Antarius Ryan puts Judson back in the lead. 27-25, the visiting team is on top. Davis tries to get it back for the Saints and does. So now we're just trading baskets, going back and forth. Ramel Davis, 9 of 12 from three-point range this year. Doesn't take a ton of them, but he picks his spots wisely. Anderson works his way in, backs it up. Drives once again, right on Sheer Moriarty, loses the ball, gets it back, and that's a travel. Good defense from Sheer Moriarty, avoided the contact, and Anderson is called for the walk. So a rarity of late in this game. St. Francis has the ball with the lead. They can extend it. The lead's been going back and forth. Two sides trading baskets over the last few minutes. Saints have been up by as many as 7. Biggest lead for Judson has been 3. Davis against Ryan, works his way into the paint against Alston rather, and Davis hits the turnaround. Another big game for Ramel Davis already today, 11 points for the junior transfer from Bakersfield College. Getting late in the first half. Ryan, double team, fires outside. Spires thought about the 3, steps in, off the backboard, too hard. Rebound Davis, here come the Saints, ahead to E.J. Charles. Charles spins into the paint, stripped and fouled. And that, I believe, is number 3 on Antarius Ryan.
Judson foul number 10, Antarius Ryan. His third, team's fifth.
3 fouls on Ryan now. Javaris Wiggins goes to the scores table, but we'll check into the next whistle as Sheer Moriarty goes up over Gavin Alston and scores to make it a 5-point lead. Ryan works his way inside, kick back out. Anderson behind the 3-point line. Saints snuffed it out well. Into the corner, Ryan is fouled by E.J. Charles. Charles bought the fake. Foul is on the floor. It's number 4 on St. Francis. So Judson will inbound from the baseline. Antarius Ryan came down pretty hard. And gotten a knee to the side of his head from E.J. Charles, who really leapt on that one. Get another look at it. More than knee to the shoulder. So the fact that Ryan is slow to get up, I think, is a little bit more to do with the fall than with the contact. Well, maybe not. He was just pointing at his shoulder. That left shoulder is bothering him. And that is right where E.J. Charles got him. Charles buys the fake. Yeah. Left knee right to the left shoulder of Antirius Ryan. Ryan's in a little bit of discomfort as he tries to get himself up. He is, I think, about to check out of the game anyway, so the injury doesn't impact that. He'll get a look, an extended look from the trainers over on the sideline. Out of bounds play coming up for Judson when we're ready to resume action. 32-27. St. Francis has the lead with 2:53 to play in the first half. We've seen 4 ties, 6 lead changes in this first half. Saints have had the lead the majority of the time. All 5 starters on the floor right now for the Fighting Saints, as Javaris Wiggins goes back to inbound this ball for the Eagles. Wiggins gets it right back from Stewart. Looking for that screen. Uses it to his left. Floater from Wiggins. Falls through. 4 points for Javaris Wiggins. Came in averaging better than 19 per game. Just shy of 50% from the field. Davis spins into the paint. Davis up with the right hand. Ribs out. There's E.J. Charles with the follow. First field goal for Charles. He's got 5 points. A nice addition back into the starting lineup. Gavin Alston crosses to his right. Alston pull up from the free throw line. No good. Stewart tips the rebound straight out of bounds. Saints basketball. The defense follows Davis, and Charles is right there. Unchecked, no box out. He's able to follow up by making it a 5-point lead. Sheer Moriarty. Davis bounces it into Charles. Poked away from behind. Charles keeps it alive. Shot clock at 13. EJ makes his move. Down the lane, he's fouled. E.J. Charles, 3 of 4 from the free throw line so far today. He'll get a chance to add a few points right here. First shot misses. Saints are on a 9-2 stretch right now. Ben Fatz back in. Sheer Moriarty takes a seat. Charles trying to make it 10-2 and a 6-point lead. He does go 1 of 2, so 6 points for the senior forward E.J. Charles. Final 90 seconds of the first half. 3-pointer, Barrick Olden. Olden's had a nice first half in limited minutes. He's got a team leading 9 points, and he's pulled Judson back to within a single possession. Jones's pass towards Charles is deflected towards the sideline. Nwosu keeps it alive, but right to Jones. Now it's 5-on-4. Charles over Olden and in. Charles has 8 points. Spires out to Wiggins. Under a minute to play in the half. Judson's trying to finish strong, despite having trailed most of the game. Olden tries to make it 2 in a row. He does. Barrick Olden red hot for Judson. He's got 12 points to lead all scorers. St. Francis can hold for 1 here if they want to. Joachim lobs it for Charles, who throws it down. 10 for E.J. Charles in the first half. The lead is back to 4. Shot clock is off. Wiggins drives and kicks. Three-pointer from the corner. Nwosu ends the first half on a high note for Judson as they pull back to within 1. 39-38. This was a tight first half, so very fittingly, it's just a 1-point game going into halftime. Two teams getting a little tangled up on their way back to their respective locker rooms. The officials jump into the middle of it. Try to make sure everybody has a free path here. So nothing happens at midcourt. No funny business before the halftime break. Good game so far. 4 ties, 6 lead changes, and just a 1-point difference at halftime. St. Francis 39, Judson 38. And we've got a 15-minute break here for halftime. 20 more minutes of basketball still to come as the Saints try to pull off their 3rd win in their last 4 games. It's St. Francis by 1 at halftime here on the USF Sports Network. Halftime here at the University of St. Francis, and we're just moments away from the start of the second half. The Fighting Saints currently hold a 1-point lead over Judson University. 39-38 is our score, and as close as it is at halftime, that's as close as most of the first half was. It was a very tight first 20 minutes of basketball. We saw 4 ties, 6 lead changes, and for a while there, late in the half, the lead was going back and forth on every possession. Judson's biggest lead was only 3, 24-21 was the greatest separation they were able to create against St. Francis. The Fighting Saints have led by as many as 7, and they were up by as many as 4 in the closing seconds of the half, but a big last-second three-pointer for the Eagles made it the 1-point game that we're looking at right now. 2 double-digit scores right now for the Fighting Saints. Ramel Davis leads the Fighting Saints with 11 points. E.J. Charles, in his return to the starting lineup for the first time in a few weeks, has 10 points today. Both teams really hitting on all cylinders offensively, and it has shown in the score that we've got right now. But a lot of good shooting early on in this game. Both sides are above 50%. And you would expect that as we move into the second half, you might find a cold snap here or there. The Saints are at 53% right now. Judson at 52%. So the winner of this game might be the team that's able to weather the storm at a point when they do find a little bit of hardship. Mentioned Ramel Davis has 11 points. He's also got 4 rebounds to lead the team. Judson's leading scorer right now is Barrick Olden. Olden has 12 points on 4 of 5 shooting. He's only been on the floor for 8 minutes, but he leads all scorers. CJ Nwosu has 10 points for the Eagles so far. It's a big one today. St. Francis trying to win their 3rd in their last 4 games. Judson is trying to win their 5th in their last 5 games. The Eagles fell to Indiana Northwest on Wednesday, but prior to that, they had a 4-game winning streak going. So they've been playing some really good basketball of late. They pulled themselves above 500 in conference play at 9-8 coming into today. And they've shown a lot of good fight against the Saints today after St. Francis carried a lead throughout most of that half. The Eagles would not let them pull away. So here we are at halftime, 39-38. St. Francis basketball to start the second half. They've switched sides, so the Saints are now going from left to right. And Dakota Joachim starts the second half on the floor in place of Nadav Gerner. Other than that, starters are out there for the Saints. It looks like starters for Judson as well as Ramel Davis misses inside. Second chance is good, and a foul on Sam Stewart. Good start to the half for St. Francis. First foul on Sam Stewart. First one didn't go. Davis stuck with it. And the second chance is good. Not a ton of contact there, but Davis was able to get the foul from Stewart and make it a 3-point play. So they're back up by 4. This was the score right before Judson hit that last second 3. Right before halftime. And Antarius Ryan can't get the pass. A little bit behind him from Alston. Dakota Joachim shovels it back. Davis slows things down. Shir Maraidi backs in. Going one-on-one. He throws it to the outside. It's Tay Jones. Jones down the baseline. Again, they reset. Maraidi going one-on-one with Antarius Ryan. Sam Stewart comes in to help. Step back is no good for Maraidi, and the ball is knocked loose and pulled in by Judson. Antarius Ryan is playing with 3 fouls right now. Maraidi went after him. Wasn't able to get anything to happen, though. Here's Ryan on offense, bouncing it into the corner. 3-pointers, an air ball from Wiggins. Wiggins has been very quiet today. 4 points on 2 of 5 shooting. 3rd leading scorer in the CCAC coming into play today. Tay Jones for 3. The Saints have the first 6 points of the half, and they've matched their biggest lead of the day at 7. Gavin Alston, guarded by Charles. One dribble to his left. Gives it up to Wiggins. Wiggins right around Tay Jones. Down the lane, pass deflected. Still able to find his man. Good ball movement outside. Antarius Ryan knocks down the 3.
Antarius Ryan.
Antarius Ryan now has 8 points. Again, playing with 3 fouls. But he's proven to be a boon to be on the floor for Judson right now. Davis streaks down the lane and gets himself to the line. Hacked across the arm on his way up.
Judson foul number 21, Sam Stewart, his second, team second.
Ramel Davis, 1 of 1 from the free throw line so far today. Second foul on Sam Stewart. He's picked both of them up in just the last 2 minutes, both times sending Davis to the line. Davis misses the first of 2 free throws. 73% foul shooter on the season. St. Francis is a team shooting him at 71% this year. They're 5 of 8 today. All 6 of their free throws in the first half were from E.J. Charles. Their first 3 free throws here in the second half have been from Ramel Davis, and he's just 1 of 3. Contact underneath the basket. And a foul is called on Dakota Joachim of St. Francis. Number 2 on him. It's the first on the team. Shot clock sets to 20 for Judson. Making sure the floor is dry before they get the inbounds play going. There's a towel tossed into the proceedings. Well, you want something dry. I always recommend using the towel. St. Francis has had the lead most of the way here, up by 1 at halftime. 4-point game. Judson hit a big 3 on their last possession. Trying to make it 5 or 6 points in a row here. Stewart trying to get it to Alston. Pass deflected, but it finds Ryan. And Ryan's pass goes right through the hands of Wiggins, who saves it to Ryan. Somehow the possession still alive for Judson. Another deflection, and finally the Saints take it away. Full court pass stolen by Wiggins. May have gotten away with a travel there as he backpedaled after catching the pass. Sloppy play on both sides. Judson resets on offense. Corner 3, Ryan is good. And it's a 1-point game. So we're right back to where we started the half. Saints scored the first 6 points here in the second. Judson scored the next 6. E.J. Charles is fouled by C.J. Nwosu. Number 3 on Nwosu. So he and Antarius Ryan now both have 3. And Charles goes right back to the free throw line where he was so comfortable in the first half. This will be his 7th and 8th attempts of the game. Charles misses the first, so he's just 4 of 7. Saints as a team today are 5 for 11 from the free throw line. Still, it's been a nice comeback game for E.J. Charles. He returned to the lineup, played 14 minutes on Wednesday in the win at Governors State. This is his first time back in the starting lineup as the Saints have now missed 4 consecutive free throws. Judson can take the lead here for the first time in the second half. Gavin Alston looks inside, finds Stewart there. Stewart up and in with the right hand. It's an 8-0 run for Judson, and the Eagles are in front by 1. Charles puts the ball up high, now puts it on the floor. Going in on Ryan, and he's fouled, number 4 on Antarius Ryan. Knowing that Ryan had 3 fouls, Charles was very aggressive on that possession, and he gets Ryan for his 4th. With 16:06 still to play in this half, and Ryan's been one of the better offensive players out there for Judson, so that's a very costly 4th foul. Charles hits his first free throw this time. So Bruce Fields goes to his bench and calls on Finn Walsh, junior transfer from College of DuPage. First time Walsh has appeared today. Second free throw good. Charles goes 2 of 2, and the Saints are back in front. Walsh handles the ball and loses it out of bounds. An inauspicious beginning to his stay in today's game. Walsh has started 4 times this year. Not as though he is a seldom used player, but getting his first action in this one 24 minutes in. Joe Kim trying to get Davis inside, pass deflected. And it's still loose. Stewart comes up with it. Stewart down to the corner. This is Nwosu. Out to Walsh. Walsh steps in, shovels it off, down low to Stewart. Back outside. Walsh gets the cutter. Stewart lays it in for 2 more. Sam Stewart has the last 4 for Judson, his first 4 points today. Joachim step back, gives to Moriarty. Tay Jones for 3, yes! We're right back to where we were late in the first half. Lead going back and forth. And it's the Saints again by 2. We've got a foul on the floor against St. Francis.
St. Francis foul number 15.
It's on Sheer Moriarty. Number 1 on him, 2nd on the team. Ryan Marks goes to his bench for the first time this half. Moriarty heads out along with E.J. Charles. Ben Fatz and Connor Casper are in. Eric Olden on the floor for Judson. He had a big first half, 12 points in just 8 minutes. This is Olden getting the touch. Couple of dribbles, trying to find Alston, nearly out of his hands, but Alston keeps it alive. Alston spins into the paint and travels. Lost his footing, and it cost him possession. So the Saints have the ball and the lead. Judson had momentarily taken it away. The lead, that is. I guess they took the ball away a few times, too. Not a lot, though. Saints have been good about turnovers today. Tay Jones pull up from 2-point range is short. Gets his own rebound. Second chance, no. Rebound to Olden. Here's Wiggins. Javaris Wiggins down to the corner. 3-pointer Gavin Alston off the mark. Rebound is ripped out of the hands of Ben Fatz. CJ Nwosu off balance, no good. Gets his own rebound from his back. Here's Olden getting himself to the line. Wild sequence right there that started with the missed 3-pointer. CJ Nwosu wanted a foul called. There was contact on him, didn't get it. Olden does get the foul, but he misses the first free throw. Saints bench wasn't thrilled about that call. Ben Fatz, they thought, went straight up. Olden goes 0 for 2. So unable to add to his 12-point total, leading the team right now. Ronell Davis is the game's leader with 14 points. He's in possession right now. Fatz gives it to Jones, 3-pointer. Tay Jones misses short. Rebound hit high into the air. Javaris Wiggins comes away with it. On the drive, another foul called on Ben Fatz, and Olden is going back to the free throw line.
St. Francis foul number 32, Ben Fatz.
Well, neither team has been all that adept from the line of late. Two teams have gone a combined 3 for 9. Shooting free throws this half. Olden missed 2 on his last attempt. Now he's got 2 more attempts. First one is good this time. Don Jokin played well in the first half. He gets his first appearance in the second half. Nick Nego checked in as well. Olden's got them both. We're tied for the 6th time today. 50-50. It's about what this game is right now. It's been a total toss-up the whole way through. Deflected and stolen by Judson. Alston out to Wiggins. If the Eagles can get Wiggins going, that would be huge for the team that has stayed in it the whole way, even without their star player getting much of a contribution. Nice defense from Nick Nigo. Nigo got his hand on top of the ball and forced the tie-up. Possession arrow to Judson, so they'll keep it. But still a good defensive play as it reverses the arrow. Judson will inbound with 18 on the shot clock. Pull up for Alston from the elbow. No good. Rebound Walsh. Back outside, knocked out of bounds. Who touched it last? It was Judson. Saints ball. The Eagles turn it over for the 13th time today. St. Francis has committed just 6 turnovers. Check that 7. They just picked up their 7th a couple of moments ago. Dakota Joachim bounces down low. It's Fats. Double teamed outside. Don Joachim. Into the corner. Connor Casper. Good look, but it's short. Saints have hit a shooting slump here in the second half. They've been able to get themselves to the line enough that it hasn't impacted them much. But after shooting 53% in the first half, they're closer to 30% here in the second. Outside Alston, three-pointer on the money. And Judson matches their biggest lead today, 53-50. Big possession here for the Fighting Saints. Not a lot of scorers on the floor right now for St. Francis. Nigo around the screen from Fats. Looking for Fats on the cut, didn't have him. Don Joachim hands it off to Dakota. Around the screen, he pulls up for 2, no good. And the rebound is tipped around, pulled in by Gavin Alston. Javaris Wiggins gives it up to Finn Walsh. Walsh drives on Fats, down to the corner, three-pointer, a foul called. And Judson is going to get 3 free throws. CJ Nwosu headed to the line.
St. Francis foul on Dakota Joachim, his third. Team's fifth.
Third foul on Dakota Joachim.
CJ Nwosu at the line for 3.
Joachim just caught a little bit off balance late on the challenge. Nwosu gives Judson a 4-point lead with 2 more shots coming. It's the biggest lead today for the Eagles. First time they've been up by 2 scores. He hits 2 of 2. He's a 69% free throw shooter for the year. So percentages would tell you he'd make 2 of 3. He'll miss this one. That's why I never trusted the percentages. Tay Jones, Shia Moretti coming back in. Dakota Joachim and Ben Fats hit the bench. Now Connor Casper leaves late. And Ben Kreitz makes his first appearance today. Kreitz played a lot of minutes in the absence of Fats and Charles. Now they're both back. Goes back to a bench role. Playing limited minutes for the Fighting Saints. See what he can contribute here in the second half today as Don Joachim drives, goes up off the backboard, no good. Fighting Saints are ice cold on offense. Now counting on their defense to step up. Olden, 14 points today, loses the ball, chases it back down. Off the foot of Shia Moretti on the Olden pass to the interior. It'll stay with Judson. The shot clock resets to 20.
Stays with Judson.
Olden to Wiggins. Wiggins gets inside. Wiggins fadeaway. No, off the back rim. Rebound Don Joachim. He wants to push it. Joachim runs into a wall of blue shirts, has to back up. Ben Kreitz to Don Joachim. Steps to his left, drives, loses the ball. Out of bounds. Judson possession.
Judson basketball.
Saints turned it over only 4 times in the first half. They're having some troubles in that department lately here. Three turnovers here in the second half. Off the hands of Walsh, gets it back. Here's Olden. Olden backs in, over Moriarty, no. Tipped around, ball still loose, Alston pulls it in, out to Walsh. Then Walsh kicks it outside. Half the second half is in the books, under 10 minutes to play. Three-pointer for Olden, no good. He had been a perfect 2 of 2. Saints clear it this time, Tay Jones. Outside to Kreitz. Here's Moriarty underneath, reverse layup is good. Fighting Saints needed that one. Their first field goal in 5 minutes. Stripped and an offensive foul called on CJ Nwosu, number 4 on him.
Judson, player control foul, number 1, CJ Nwosu.
Huge foul. Nwosu has 13 points. And now he joins Antirius Ryan with 4 fouls for Judson. Nick Nigo takes the contact. And Nwosu stays on the floor with his 4 fouls. 5th foul of the half on Judson. Moriarty hands it off to Tay Jones, over to Ben Kreitz. Jones drives, step back for 2, it's good, and it's a 2-point game. Tay Jones has 13, one of 3 Fighting Saints in double digits. Stripped from Javaris Wiggins, a steal for St. Francis, and thrown straight out of bounds by Don Joachim. Out of control that time. Fired it in between Nigo and Kreitz and out of bounds. Timeout called with 8:57 to play in the second half. Judson leads 56-54. Saints have led most of the game, but Judson kept it close. They made their run about 5-6 minutes ago when the Fighting Saints went through a big drought. They went 5 minutes without a field goal. Judson made their run, they took the lead. Saints coming back into it. Neither Kreitz nor Nigo had their heads up on that play. Lobbed straight out of bounds by Joachim. Bernie's in the house. That's a big game. You know it's a big game. Anytime there's a dog dancing on the floor, it's a big game. And it's a big one for the Saints today because they came in 9th place in the CCAC. Leading the whole crowd. Everybody's getting into it. Top 8 make it to the conference tournament. Saints came into play today 1 spot behind Calumet St. Joe's for that final seed in the conference tournament. They will see Calumet on Wednesday. So that's going to be a big game. You figure, though, to have any degree of confidence in qualifying for that conference tournament, St. Francis is going to have to win all 3 of their games. Today, Wednesday at Calumet, and then they wrap up the season a week from today. Next Saturday, they're here at home against St. Xavier, who has already beaten them once this year. Calumet is in action right now. They're taking on Governor's State, and they've got a double-digit lead over the Jaguars in the second half. Olden on the outside, guarded by Moriarty, bounces it over to Gavin Alston. Alston blocked from behind by Ben Kreitz. Out of bounds. Still Judson ball, 15 to shoot. 2-point lead for the Eagles. Walsh playing for Antirius Ryan in foul trouble, knocks down his first 2 points of the game. A long-range contested jumper. Tough shot for Walsh, but he gets it to go. It's the Eagles by 4. Again, he's playing for Antirius Ryan, who's got the 4 fouls. CJ Nwosu has 4 fouls. He's still in the game. Davis off the glass. 16 for Ramel Davis. 58-56, just over 8 minutes to play. Three-pointer for Walsh. Not this time. A little bit too strong on that jump shot. Still just a 2-point game. Saints can tie or take the lead here. Jones around the screen, kicks it back. Don Joachim fakes the jumper. Now on his way into the basket, and he is fouled.
Judson foul number 5, Finn Walsh, his first, team 6.
First foul on Finn Walsh, who's called for that one. Don Joachim at the free throw line. First attempts for him today. 71% for the season. And he makes the first one. If he makes the second shot, we'll be tied for the 7th time. And he does. 4 points for Joachim today. 58-58. Offensive foul call on Javaris Wiggins. Wiggins, I think, hooked Don Joachim, trying to free himself up for that pass. It's a turnover committed by Judson. First foul on Wiggins. And the Fighting Saints can reclaim the lead. Their last one was 50-48. Hasn't been that long. Davis double team, looking for help. Bounces inside, doesn't need the help. Davis has 18, and the Saints are back in front. Derek Olden bounces underneath the basket. Wiggins, good control, kicks it back out. Walsh, pump fake, out to the corner, three-pointer Olden, no, rebound Moriarty. Now Judson is going through their cold spell. Saints have broken out of theirs. Moriarty has the ball stripped, taken away by Wiggins. Javaris Wiggins lays it off for Walsh, and Finn Walsh lays it back in. Tied again. Tenth turnover committed by St. Francis. 15 in this game for Judson. $16 actually now for Judson. Davis tries the three. Not this time. He hit one earlier. Had been 9 of 12 on the season. There's a good pass down the floor, but Davis beats Nwosu to the basket. Saints on the run. It's Tay Jones. Jones up off the glass. No. Rebound tip back out to Jones. Saints will try it again. Kreitz dribbles to his left. Finds Davis. Sheer Moriarty drives. Moriarty stripped and fouled by Gavin Alston.
Judson foul number 11, Gavin Alston, his second.
Second foul on Gavin Alston.
Sheer Moriarty in the line for 2.
2 shots here for Sheer Moriarty, who's got 4 points. And there's number 5. Nadav Gerner back on the floor as Don Joachim checks out. It's been a while since we've seen Gerner in this one. He started, but this is his first appearance of the second half. Moriarty's second free throw misses, so it's a 1-point game. And Tyrius Ryan back on the floor with his 4 fouls. Gets it inside, backs back, and blocked by Moriarty. Second chance for Judson. Three-pointer misses from Alston. Tay Jones grabs the rebound. Jones back to Davis. Shot clock at 11. It's Ben Kreitz on the inside. Out to Gerner. Three-pointer, no. Offensive rebound. The putback is there. Ramel Davis, 20 points, 6 rebounds, and he's given St. Francis a 3-point lead. 63-60, just under 5 minutes to play. And Ramel Davis cleaning up the offensive glass. Went right over Kay Anderson. And for St. Francis, that's now 12 second chance points in the game. +6 over Judson in that department. And they've got the 3-point lead. This game has featured 8 ties, 12 lead changes. It's been close all the way through. Biggest lead for St. Francis has been 7. For Judson, biggest lead has been 6. Both teams shot better than 50% in the first half. Here in the second, they're both well under 50%. I talked about it at halftime, who is best going to be able to respond to a cold snap. And so far, so good for the Saints. They went 5 minutes without making a field goal, but hung in the game with tough defense and some free throw shooting. And now they've made their run. They're back in control of this one. Mentioned before, it's a big game as far as the conference standings are concerned. St. Francis is 6-11 coming into today. Judson is 9-8. Eagles are right now in a 3-way tie for 5th. So that seeding is a pretty big deal. Figure they'll be in it pretty comfortably in the conference tournament. But seeding matters between them and St. Xavier and St. Ambrose. And for St. Francis, they're batting with Calumet for the final spot in the conference tournament. And Calumet ahead of them by 1 game. Calumet, I mentioned before, is winning. Appear to be on their way to a win today. A big late over Governor State. So the Saints need a win today, and then of course on Wednesday too. Here's Barrick Olden. Olden backs in, kicks it into the corner. This is Wiggins. Javaris Wiggins loses the ball. It's picked up by Tay Jones. Jones ahead for Davis. Down to the corner. Ben Kreitz for 3. No, it's short. Rebound tracked down by Alston. Ahead for Ryan. Antirius Ryan takes it right at Gerner and draws the foul. Ryan has 11 points today. He'll try to add to that from the free throw line.
Antirius Ryan at the line for 2.
Ryan makes his first free throw. First point in a while for Ryan. He's been on the bench after picking up that 4th foul. It was 12 minutes ago, game time, that he committed that 4th foul. Second leading scorer on the team this season. He's been very good when he's been out there today. 13 points for him. But obviously his minutes have been limited. Nice pass from Davis to E.J. Charles cutting the basket. Shot blocked. Charles gets it back. Tries to keep it alive out to Tay Jones. Nice pass. Saints reset with 11 on the shot clock. Gerner gives it to Jones. Jones step back for 2. Air ball. Kreitz gets the rebound. Shot clock running out, and he misses it again. Saints got a couple of shots off. That Kreitz attempt did go up before the buzzer, but he was behind the backboard. Just a really tough angle. He had no choice but to shoot that one with the shot clock running down, and he didn't get the rim. One-point game. Under 4 minutes to go. We've been going back and forth all afternoon. It's Olden. Olden bounces to the cutter. Wiggins lays it in. Timeout Judson. Eagles have the lead 64-63. And Javaris Wiggins lays it in for just his 5th and 6th points today. We talked about Wiggins during the pregame show. He was the highlighted player, the guy to stop for Judson, averaging over 19 points per game. And today, he's been pretty absent. We haven't had much reason to talk about him during the game at all. But a big bucket right there. He's now 3 of 8 from the field in the game for 6 points. He may not have a lot of baskets, but he's got the biggest one of the game to this point. I imagine it will not end as the biggest basket of the game. There's a long way to go in this, and it remains very close. A 1-point ball game. It was a 1-point lead for St. Francis at halftime. Judson has outscored the Saints here in the second half, 26-24. Not quite as much offense here in the second half. Saints shot 53% from the field in the first, just 35% here in the second. For Judson, it was 52% in the first, and now 36% in the second. It's been a different game, and that was to be expected. I didn't figure on both of these teams staying as hot as they were for the entire ball game. I figured it would be more of a defensive struggle in the second half. It has been exactly that. It's been a good one. Close all the way. Charles, Jones, Moriarty, Don Joachim, and Davis are on the floor for the Fighting Saints. Here's Joachim on the wing, guarded by Javaris Wiggins. E.J. Charles' pass is stolen. Right into the hands of Nwosu. Nwosu is fouled. And C.J. Nwosu will go to the free throw line off the steal. He had a 2-on-1, got the contact from Charles. Second foul on E.J. Charles. It's the 7th on the Saints. So both teams are in the bonus. Nwosu's got 11 points today. 3 of those from the free throw line. First foul shot is good. Two-point lead for Judson, and Nwosu misses the second. He had been 4 of 4 from the line. 65-63, Saints will look to tie or take the lead here. They've hit 5 3-pointers in the game, 3 of them from Tay Jones. Davis double team, fires to the cutter, pass deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Saints. Sheer Moriarty fakes, tries to get around Olden, up with the right hand and in. We're tied at 65. 9th tie of the game, under 3 minutes to play. Wiggins around the screen at the free throw line, kicks it out to Alston for 3. No good, rebound Joachim. Tay Jones slows it down. Here's Sheer Moriarty, 18 to shoot. Davis squares up for 3 and hits. Second three-pointer today for Ramel Davis. He's got 23. He feigned it. The defense didn't respect his range, and they didn't close in. He just decided to take the shot. 68-65. Another lead change. Olden, nice pass to the cutter, and Antarius Ryan finishes with the layup. Back and forth to the end, 68-67, St. Francis. Tay Jones walks it to his left, gives it back up top. Down to the corner, it's Don Joachim along the baseline. Joachim, tough angle, lays it in. Difficult shot, but he's able to give St. Francis a 3-point lead. Here's Olden. Huge first half for Olden. He's been quiet so far in the second, 14 points overall. He's stuck, and he finally gets rid of it to Antarius Ryan. Saints wanted a 5-second call. 8 to shoot. Ryan drives. Ryan blocked by Jones. And a jump ball is called. Possession arrow, St. Francis. So the Saints have the ball with 66 seconds left. You'd imagine they'll try to run a little bit of clock here, but if they're able to score, it'll be under a minute to play with a 2-possession lead. And the way this game has gone, a 2-possession lead feels enormous. There haven't been all that many of them. Jones up top to Davis. They've already used 20 seconds on this possession. Joachim gets it down low to E.J. Charles, going against Ryan, gets inside and fouled by Barrick Olden. Olden took a hard fall at the end of the play. So the foul is called on Olden, but he is shaken up down underneath the basket now, so we'll have a delay while he gets looked at. That's a tough fall from Olden. E.J. Charles got inside quickly there. It was initially going one-on-one with Antarius Ryan. Ryan's got 4 fouls, so he backed off. Olden came in. Oh, some shouting going on back and forth, but there was clearly a foul on Olden, and he just couldn't get his footing as he came to the ground, and he hit his head on the floor underneath the basket. So they're getting him cleaned up right now. 40.4 seconds remaining in this game. St. Francis has a 3-point lead, and they'll get a chance for 2 more from the free throw line. It'll be E.J. Charles going to the line on the other side of this. Yeah, Olden immediately started grabbing at his head, and you could see where he hit. It was a hard hit. Hopefully he's all right. But he'll be done for the rest of this game for sure. If we look at the game and where it stands right now, St. Francis led by 1 at halftime. It was 39-38. The second half's been a little bit lower scoring. The shooting hasn't been quite as hot in the second half. Both teams shot better than 50% over the first 20 minutes. Here in the second half, it's been a little bit more of a grind them out kind of game. The Saints have outscored the Eagles 31-29. Judson went on a nice run earlier this half. St. Francis at one point went 5 straight minutes without a field goal. And during that time, the Eagles were able to take their biggest lead of the game. They went ahead at 56-50. And they were poised to start to pull away, but that's when the Saints got back to their game that was working so well for them early. Ramel Davis got hot again. He's got 23 points today on 10 of 14 from the field. Davis entered play averaging 16 a game, 52% shooter, and he's been good from three-point range again today as well. He doesn't take a lot of threes, but he makes them when he takes them. 2 of 3 today. He's now 10 for 14 on the season. The crowd gives a big hand to Barrick Olden as he is helped up. Still administering to him underneath the basket, though, so we'll still have a little bit of a delay before E.J. Charles goes to the free throw line. It's been a nice return to the starting lineup for Charles. His minutes still limited a bit. He's played 20 so far today. He's got 12 points, a lot of that from the free throw line. He's 6 of 10 on foul shots. He'll go back to the line again here. But it's been good to have him out there again. 4 rebounds, a couple of steals. He had a big block early in the game. And his aunt made cupcakes. Big day all around. Olden up on his feet now and walking off the floor. So that's very good to see. Again, he'll be out for the rest of this game, under a minute to play. And it was not a pretty looking fall, and you can certainly understand the level of discomfort that he's under, but it's good to see him getting himself up on his own and walking off the floor on his own, and they'll take him into the training room and have a further look at him. Once they get the floor cleaned up, I think there was some blood on the floor, so they'll get that cleaned up. And then E.J. Charles will go to the free throw line. For Judson, the leader today is Arterius Ryan, who's got 15 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Ryan has only played 22 minutes today. He missed a good chunk of time here in the second half because he committed 4 fouls. He's been back out there for a while now and has not committed his 5th. And that's been big because Javaris Wiggins, who is the team's leading scorer on the season, is having a really rough night shooting. Just 3 of 8 for 6 points for him. C.J. Nwosu is the other guy who stepped up for Judson. Nwosu's got 14 points, and he's also played much of this second half with 4 fouls. Nwosu actually picked up his 4th foul early in the second half. And Bruce Fields stuck with him. Did not go to his bench. Nwosu rewarded that confidence by not picking up his 5th foul. And he's been excellent this whole second half. So we're about ready to continue here. Charles will take 2 free throws. And he'll try to extend this lead to a 2-possession game. First shot for Charles is good. 7 of 11 from the line, and it is now a 2-score lead. Got them both. 14 for Charles. 72-67. Arterius Ryan looking inside for Sam Stewart. Stewart throws it down. Judson wanted a foul called in addition. They don't get it, so it is a 3-point game. It could have been a disaster for the Saints if it had been a foul. It's exactly what they were looking to avoid, just no 3-pointers. Judson got the next best thing. It wasn't a 3, but it was a quick 2. So the shot clock is still on. Judson's not fouling. Only a 3-second difference here, and the Saints call timeout. 15.7 on the clock, 13 on the shot clock. So technically, Judson can just play out this if they get the stop. They would theoretically get the ball back with time on the clock, but it would only be slightly under 3 seconds on the clock as they got the rebound with a running clock. So you figure best case scenario, if Judson gets a stop here without taking the ball away and without fouling, they would have the ball back with just over 2 seconds remaining, and they'd have to go the length of the floor. Big play from Sam Stewart, but it is still St. Francis's lead, 72-69, with 15.7 seconds still showing. So the Saints call timeout to draw something up here. But I think what they want to do more than anything offensively is just run clock, because there is such a small difference between the shot and game clock. Well, that's the other thing about Judson not fouling if they can't force a turnover. If they choose not to foul, even if they do get the stop, they won't have very much time left. If they don't get the stop, if St. Francis does score at the end of the shot clock, it's game over. So I would think the Eagles here will foul almost immediately if they can't get the takeaway. It'll be Don Joachim to inbound. He's got Jones, Davis, Moriarty, and Charles with him. Inbounded to Ramel Davis, right back to Don Joachim, and he is fouled immediately. 13.9 on the clock. Judson let a lot of time go by before fouling. St. Francis used up about 17, 18 seconds. A little bit more than that even. Used up about 19 seconds on that possession. First of 2 free throws is good. That was the 10th foul on Judson, so it is double bonus now. 2-score game. So that was the big one, to get at least 1 to make sure it's 2 possessions. Second shot is good. Casper comes in defensively for Charles. 13.9 seconds. Saints are just trying to speed up the Judson offense here. Javaris Wiggins steps into a 3. Way off. Rebound Casper. 6.5 on the clock. Casper's fouled. And if he hits both of these, it should be game over. Javaris Wiggins struggling was a big story throughout today's game. Now 3 of 9 from the field. And for as much as he's struggled, he is still your go-to guy in any clutch situation. So it's not a surprise they gave him the ball there, but just couldn't get a clean look and missed wildly. So if Casper makes both of these, it becomes a 3-possession game. And with just 6.5 seconds on the clock, Saints could pull everybody off the floor. Just don't foul. You're not going to give up a 3-possession lead. But he's got to make them both. He does hit one. 75-69. Second shot for Casper. There it is, 7-point lead. Matches the biggest of the game for St. Francis. So now all they've got to do is not foul, just back off. And they should have a big conference victory here. Driving, Nwosu lays it in, 2.6 on the clock. And a timeout called by Judson. So 5-point game, 2.6 seconds. So now all the Saints should have to do to secure the win is just inbound it. You would imagine they'll be fouled right away again. It's the long shot of long shots here for Judson, but they're not going to go down without fighting till the very end. And if they do get a steal on the inbounds play, again, there's still probably not enough time. No matter what, if everything goes absolutely right for Judson, there's still probably not enough time for them to win the game. But if we're trying to draw up a scenario where they could, they need a steal on the inbounds play, or better yet for them, if they get a 5-second violation, they would try a quick shot off an inbounds play and then maybe be down by 1 score with under a second left. So that's why I say St. Francis probably just needs to get the ball in. Even if Judson fouls them, at that point we'll be looking at 1.5 seconds or less on the clock and going down to the other side of the floor. So this is where the fundamentals come into play. You've got a 7-point lead with 6 seconds left. First thing I mentioned is don't foul, and now it's just get the ball inbound. So you put yourself in position at that point where the game is pretty much over. All you have to do is make sure those very basic things are still things that you have control over. Don't commit the foul, which they didn't, and now it's just inbound the ball. They can get somebody to catch this ball, that should do it. Charles is the inbounder, gets it to Tay Jones, and he's fouled with 1.2 on the clock. So Jones will try to make this a final margin of 7 points for St. Francis. He'll try to add to his individual total as well. He's got 13 today. One of 3 Saints in double figures, along with Davis's 23 and Charles's 14. First foul shot misses. First free throw attempt of the day for Jones. So now instead he'll try to make it 14 points and even himself up with Charles, which he does. 77-71. We'll see if Judson has time to get one more shot off. Nwosu, I don't think, did get it off on time. 77-71 is our final score. St. Francis picks up a big victory over Judson, and they keep themselves alive for the conference tournament coming up in a couple of weeks as they try to make a run at Calumet St. Joe's. They'll see them this coming Wednesday. Ryan Marks and company improved to 8-15 overall this year, 7-11 in conference, only meeting this season between the Fighting Saints and Eagles. And that's a shame because this was a really fun game, back and forth, close the whole way. St. Francis was able to make the big buckets they needed to late to come away with the victory. And it is too bad that we won't get a return affair in Elgin later this year. I guess it would have been earlier this year, but it is just one meeting between these two schools this season unless they see each other in the conference tournament. St. Francis comes away with a 77-71 victory. It's their 3rd win in their last 4 games. I said coming in, they've been playing some of their best basketball of the season of late, and that continues. It's not just that they've been picking up wins, but playing well against tough competition. This is a Judson team that had a 4-game winning streak going at this time last week, playing some of their best basketball of the season. They came in with a winning record, 9-8 in conference play. And the Saints proved that they are absolutely in that conversation with teams like Judson ability-wise for the middle of the conference. Maybe not quite there in the standings, but they're trying to make a late push. And they've got some tough games still in front of them against teams that are ahead of them in the conference. But they showed today that they can win those games. We'll be joined in just a second by head coach Ryan Marks as the Fighting Saints defeat Judson 77-71. Coach, this was a dogfight all the way through. It was close until the final minutes. You were able to make some big shots late in the game. What was the key in your mind?
Yeah, I think we've grown as far as just effort and continuing to come. We lost a lot of tough games early, and I think sometimes from a psychological standpoint that can weigh on you. I think our guys kept coming. We made some really big plays, and I thought Judson played terrific today.
One of the things we've talked about all season too is just the injuries that you've had have shuffled up the lineup. And it's not necessarily even the people who are out there, but knowing now you're getting late in the season and in these close games, you've got the same 5 guys out there, or the ability to have the same 5 guys out there. How big is that in terms of closing out these games?
Well, I think it helps, and even from last game to this game, we were a little bit different on the court, closing it out. I'm not sure that I made it harder on our guys in the first half by trying to, like Ben Fast, we're reintegrating. EJ's back for the second game, and obviously those guys are important. They have to be out there, but still to not disrupt the rhythm that we have. So we just got to keep growing in that direction. Dakota Jokum was a little banged up, and we would have loved to have had him down the stretch, and I think he wasn't ready to go back in. So.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a St. Francis game if somebody didn't get hurt in it. You got 1 week to go in the regular season. It's really a tough stretch to close it out, but I was just talking just before you threw the headset on about a win today against a Judson team that had been playing really well. They're just coming off of a 4-game winning streak. Now you've got 2 games coming up against Calumet and St. Xavier, who are both in that same area in terms of the conference standings. So how big is it to get a win against a team that's ahead of you in the conference in terms of developing confidence going into that last week?
I think it's gigantic. I think in the last, in the last 2 weeks we've had some good wins, and then one really tough, we've got a good loss, but a really good performance against Roosevelt. So I think the level that we're playing at is kind of what you need to do to at least have the opportunity to win these games. And obviously, depending on what Calumet does today, sets up a pretty important matchup with the way the standings are.
Head coach Ryan Marks, congrats on the win. Good luck going forward this last week.
Thanks, Terry. Really appreciate it.
Big win for St. Francis today. 77-71 is our final score. That's going to do it for today. Ramel Davis, the leading scorer with 23 points, 10 of 14 shooting for St. Francis as he guides the team to their 3rd victory in their last 4 games. They're on the road on Wednesday at Calumet St. Joseph, a must-win game for them if they're going to make it to the conference tournament. And then back home to close up the season schedule on Saturday afternoon, February 24th, at 3 o'clock start time against St. Xavier. Hopefully you're with us for that one. We'll have the broadcast for you as always. You can keep up at GoFightingSaints.com. But one final time, our score today, 77-71. St. Francis gets the win, and the men's and women's team pull off the sweep of Judson this Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to today's matchup. For the entire crew here at the Sullivan Center's Terry Bonadonna signing off for today. We'll talk to you next time.